A mountain is no place for an ordinary vehicle, but thankfully, this Series 1 Land Rover is in its absolute element. It's a motorised mountain goat, if you will. But if you were to bring a racing car up here, you'd have to be some kind of an idiot. As you know, on short circuits, we like to challenge our drivers with a new and difficult circuit every time. But now, we've gone further, much, much further. Or should I say, higher. Because today's short circuit is be afraid, be very, very afraid. It's Killer Mountain! Here on Short Circuits, we create a scale model tribute to the world of motorsport and invite 6 slot racers to go head-to-head for a place in the series final. Like Frankenstein in his laboratory, malevolent modeller John Sword has created a terrifying track that will strike fear in the hearts of drivers and claim many innocent victims. Look at it. It's a monster! Killer Mountain takes its inspiration from the world of rallying with its combination of different surfaces, natural hazards and lack of runoff, which means that mistakes are punished. But where in rallying one car goes down each stage alone, here we'll have 6 racing wheel to wheel. And just to spice things up a little bit more, they won't be driving 4-wheel drive rally cars designed for the purpose. Oh no, it'll be slick-tired, rear-drive circuit racers, hopelessly ill-suited to the conditions. Killer Mountain is the ultimate test of car control. 3 new teams take up today's Short Circuits challenge. Racers from Redditch, Richard and Paul, are driving in white.
I've got a few skills and tricks up my sleeve for the other team, so we'll see what happens.
The other competitors, I think, are holding a few tricks up their sleeve.
We just have to concentrate hard and see if we can outwit them.
I think it's going to be very close.
We're actually the Billionaires Boys Club.
From the land of the leak, that's Wales, come Ken and Steve, racing in red.
We'll beat them. The Welchies will beat them.
We're quite experienced at this sort of track. We should be able to do quite well.
Team name is Team Red Dragons.
And we're going to go as fast as we can and stay on the track and beat the rest.
And making up the rest are Phil and Steve from Oxfordshire, racing in yellow.
The track looks fantastic. I mean, there's obviously been a tremendous amount of modelling and work and everything else going in there. So from the looks point of view, yeah, it's a great circuit.
It could be a little bit tricky around some of the corners. But yeah, it looks very interesting and it should be a good day's racing. Our team name will be Screaming Tyres, as a play on words from Dreaming Spires in Oxford. If they've got the jump on us at the start, then they will have to watch their backs because we'll all be coming back through.
Catch us if you can.
And may the best team win, which will be us.
Winning's the game.
Killer Mountain is already murder. There are enough bumps, badly cambered corners, tunnels, hills and blind spots to see to that. But that's not enough for John the Marquis de Sword. He's over there now, creating more hillside hell.
Now, Alex has already described me as a Dick Dastardly character. However, the truth of the matter is, if you want to build a rally track that not only looks right, but races really realistically, then you're going to need to alter the road surface. Now, when we look at a normal piece of track, which has its grip unchanged because it's brand new. We place the car on top. You can see that the car does grip quite well. So what we need to do now is to change that so that the car behaves in a way which reflects the style of rally driving, which means that the car is not going to be quite under control all the way around the track. Now, to transform this track with a normal tarmac surface into a gravel track is quite straightforward. All we need is some PVA glue and the grit, and we've got to mix the two together and apply it onto the track in irregular patches. So first of all, just squeeze some of the PVA glue all over the parts of the track that you're going to stick the grit onto. One of the things that we would use is something from a model railway shop or a hobby shop, and is the grit that they use for the ballast. This is nice and clean, it's already pre-coloured, and basically it's not too large, not too small. It's going to give us a nice even surface, and it's just the way in which we attach it to the track which will give us the rugged terrain. Now, just some gravel splattered here and there all over is going to affect the actions of the car. As it now moves along each of the lanes, the grip will change. If you look at the rear wheels now, they're going to change. It's going to be smooth, then rough, and as you come off the rough patch, back onto the smooth. So this will make the car behave very, very differently. It's all part of the challenge. Now, that's one type of surface where you've got lots of grip. But how about a road surface where there's absolutely no grip whatsoever? A complete nightmare. What we're going to do now is transform this track section into a section of track on a rally circuit where the cold conditions have created black ice. Nothing worse. You can hardly see it, then when you hit it, the car is bound to come spinning off. It's really straightforward how to do this, because all you need now is some high-gloss, quick-drying varnish. And the way we're going to do it is to make up several coats of varnish on several parts of the track, let them dry, and then keep building up the coats one after another, allowing them to dry. Not only will it look right, but also when the cars hit it, there'll be mayhem. Now, here's a section of track that I've already been working on. It's had about 3 coats of varnish so far, and it's getting really slippy. If we run a car on this piece of track, you'll see that it's got grip until it hits that ice, and then it starts to go sideways. What a nightmare. This is really going to catch Alex out. He'll have no chance of beating me. Now that we're happy with making those effects, what we can do is combine some of those techniques together to make something like this. And what I've done is I've made a ford that will go through the water effect on the layout that we've already previously built. In this case, then, I've painted onto the track sections high gloss blue and white to mix together to make a moving water effect. To present a hazard, I've also added the gloss varnish over the top, and then right at the edge for the finishing touch, I've also glued on some gravel, which will give us the beach effect at the edge of the water, but again is also going to catch out the drivers as they go across that. Now, for Alex, this will be a complete nightmare, but I'm not quite the sadist that he makes me out to be, because as his car spins off yet again on something like this, he'll have an excuse, won't he?
Now, what sort of car should John and I be racing on this Killer Mountain track? Now, it's picturesque, it's very beautiful. Yes, very popular with caravanners, but I don't think that's really appropriate for racing, is it? No, it's predominantly tarmac. It's quite twisty. Needs something that's going to be quite agile. So maybe a go-kart. Yes, a go-kart. What a good idea. But then again, it is quite a long track, and it's going to be quite bumpy, and a cart's going to be all over the place. No, it is something that can handle the distance. That's going to be durable, like a truck. Yeah, what a good idea. But it's not going to be very nimble, and it's very heavy, quite slow, and it's never going to get through that tunnel. No, we need something agile, probably 4-wheel drive, about 300 horsepower. Hang on a minute, yeah, a World Rally car. Perfect.
In rallying, every stage is different. Gravel, snow, tarmac and forest each offer a unique challenge. And just keeping it on the road is hard enough, with or without 4-wheel drive.
John, how do you get 4-wheel drive on a slot car? How does it work?
Well, basically, if you take a look at this one, the 206, underneath you can see something different to what you'd normally expect to see. See if you can spot it, Alex.
OK, let me have a look. Oh, hang on, there's two crown wheels there. So
absolutely.
just like a diff on a normal car with four-wheel drive, diff on the front axle, diff on the back axle.
So it's a four-wheel drive car.
So you've got like a shaft coming out of the motor at both ends, with a little pinion,
That's
and it just spins on the crown wheel.
In that case, that's absolutely true.
Okay.
In this one, which is a fairly new model, it's slightly different.
It's got a rubber band in it.
It has
John.
indeed, yeah.
It's a belt drive. So basically, the drive's going to the back wheels, and it's transferred to the front via this rubber band.
That's it.
A bit
spot
like on a DAF Variamatic, although that wasn't four-wheel drive.
Or even a washing machine.
Yeah, yeah.
However, what a lot of people do to these cars is to remove the rubber band and then use it in two-wheel drive. So it's the traditional, two wheels only. Same with the other one as well. People still do it with those as well.
Now, on a track like this, is four-wheel drive going to give us an advantage?
Possibly on some of the special sections of track known as the Alex excuses that I've actually popped into this circuit. So when you do come through the water feature over there,
and the
over
gravel
there as well, look, see all that horrible gravel?
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a slight advantage, but overall, I think, because it's mainly tarmac, two-wheel drive is the preference.
What's the best one for me? Four-wheel drive. Is four-wheel drive going to be more easy to control, more predictable? Is the two-wheel drive going to be so tail-happy and edgy?
Basically, I think you like the power, and you look more spectacular when you're crashing if you've got extra power. So you go with the two-wheel drive, I'll have the four-wheel drive Focus. Off we go then, big bloke. You're going to take it nice and steady. Lots of tail swing as you go through the curves into the water. So as usual, you're pretty mediocre, but at least you're staying on. And you go quite well, actually. You've got a lot of power in that Subaru.
More power than you?
Oh, a lot more power.
Oh, I like it.
And it's a question of can you live with the pace.
Very bumpy, John.
Yeah, it is a bit bumpy. That's intentional. We don't want it nice and smooth. That's no challenge. Into the tunnel and blind. Oh, look at this now. That's the closest you've ever been to me, that is. Not bad at all. You've got lane advantage, obviously. But I have one main advantage over you, besides all my previous experience.
What, you've got a lot more weight?
Oh, nightmare. You knocked me off there, you cheating.
I didn't. It's very easy, this slot car racing. I mean, I've just picked it up in no time. Look at that. Yay!
What can I say, eh?
John, I'm the daddy now.
Get out of here. I reckon you paid the marshal, eh? I didn't even get put back on the track.
Zero hero. That's me. Yeah, hardly ever done it. John's made me years. They're his cars. He designed all this. I'm better.
Watch the lights.
In part 2, discover how our 6 slot jockeys fare when they face the hell of Killer Mountain.
Breaks your heart, doesn't it? 6 innocent, hard-working slot jockeys spinning off on every corner as they try and get to grips with Killer Mountain before the qualifying session.
In the qualifying session, the drivers race each lane in turn and are awarded points according to their finishing position. At the end of qualifying, the driver with the highest points total gets first choice of lane for the final decisive knockout race. Lane advantage is vital. A good performance in the qualifiers means you avoid the difficult outer lanes in the final.
Drivers ready? Yeah. Watch the lights.
Lap 2 of the first qualifying heat, and Red Dragon Ken is off. Killer Mountain claims his first victim.
But this track is tough on everybody, and no one is able to make an early impression on the leaderboard as the yellow, red and white teams all struggle for the vital qualifying points.
3 qualifying heats, there's very little to choose between the top 4 or 5 drivers. Even Ken, who's currently in last place, could end up on pole. After 4 of the 6 qualifying heats, Paul is in the lead. But in 2nd, 3rd and 4th places, we've got the 2 Steves and Phil on exactly the same points. Any one of them could end up on pole position. 2 heats to go, but remember, Killer Mountain may bite back. Going into the final qualifying heat, it's Paul and Red Steve for pole position. But at the bottom of the order, Ken and Phil could make it up into 4th place, which will make all the difference in the race. Let's see Heat 6 on Killer Mountain.
Heat 6 and everyone goes for broke. Not unexpectedly, Red Ken and Yellow Phil take an early bath, and even Steve comes a cropper on the final bend, leaving Paul in pole position.
Oh, this is the life, John, isn't it, eh?
Cracking, isn't it?
Top of Killer Mountain,
Right.
in the ice-cold mountain stream. I tell you, my bum's freezing.
Cool on the feet, though.
But it's a good place to see the many hazards of Killer Mountain. Ahead of me, one of the worst places on the track, the plunge of fear. John, why is it so hard?
It's really difficult because you climb up under control, but then suddenly you come around a sharp left-handed turn. Your car disappears. You can't see it. Nobody can see their cars. Anything can happen underneath that flyover. It's not over there. As they exit the flyover, coming in underneath, there's that ford that we made. Look at that.
It's very slippery. You're just going into a bend there, so get the braking wrong and you're in trouble. But negotiate that successfully, and then, John, there's another hazard. It's quite bumpy as you come round this bit, and then you enter the tunnel of death. Why is that such a car killer?
You're into the tunnel, you can't see a thing that's going on. You don't know what the guys either left or right of you are doing, and then as you exit the tunnel, there's a right-handed curve.
And also, John, of course, that one behind you, that one that you're trying desperately to cover up.
Can't see that, mate, to be honest. No.
Caused a lot of problems in our race, didn't it? For you.
I have no memory of that. Can't remember that at all.
Let me talk you through it. What happened was, I was coming through here, beautifully under control, probably a slight power slide, but just keeping it all together. I was putting you under a lot of pressure. I may have even been nosing ahead, and you suddenly went to pieces and completely crashed and burnt on that corner.
In truth, all the curves on this circuit are pretty tight. I mean, there's nothing I'd say was easy, and if you lapse concentration, even for a second on air, I tell you what, mate, you're going to be off into something horrible, either water, rocks, or disappear in the tunnel, never to be seen again.
John, you're an evil man. I pity our poor slot jockeys who are going to have to race this.
6 slot jockeys about to face each other in today's 10-lap knockout race. Only those who finish in the top 3 will make it through to the semis. And remember, it's crash and burn. And they're off. Ken, terrible start, left on the start-finish line there in the red car. He's got a lot of catching up to do. He's in a terrible lane anyway, and doesn't look like he's going to make any impression on Paul, who's gone out like a cat on a hot tin roof. And Steve in the red car there is second place, some way behind now. And Phil in the yellow car is coming in third, with Richard in fourth in the other white car. Oh no! What's happened there? Yellow Steve, second lap, has stuffed it into the barriers, race over. Meanwhile, back at the sharp end, it's still Paul in the white car, beginning to build up a margin. Oh no! Another car's out. Oh, it's Ken. It's a long walk back to South Wales for Ken now. His race is over. He'll be playing no further part in today's proceedings. Unlike his teammate Steve in the red car, is putting in a strong performance, but he's coming under a lot of pressure from Phil in yellow. My goodness, what a battle! What a battle royal we've got between these two very committed racers. These guys are giving no quarter. They don't want to come off, but they don't want to get beaten. And is one of them going to come off? Is one of them going to be under so much pressure? They could throw it all away. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Paul is just so far ahead. No one could catch. Oh, lovely bit of a tail slide there. May not be the quickest way around the track, but certainly the most spectacular. Fantastic action here at Killer Mountain. And I'm sorry, madam, you can't stand there. This is motorsport. It's dangerous. And oh no! Coming into that right-hand corner, Phil so committed, but over-committed, and he's de-slotted, and he's out of the race, and he won't be joining us in the semi. Now Richard is strongly in a third position now. Oh, and his teammate Paul is gaining on him. He could lap his teammate. Oh my goodness, the drive home will be quite embarrassing if that happens. These two guys, very competitive, but like to make sure that they get a team... hang on a minute, Paul. Paul's gone. Paul has stopped! I don't believe it, winning by a country mile. And now he's stopped. What's that power? The power's gone down in his lane. I don't believe it. A mechanical problem with the track. And he's out. Hang on. Is he going again? Yes, oh no! He's overcooked it. Some way he got going again, and then he was out. Oh no! But has he done enough to get through to qualify? Steve now, majestic there, no pressure. Richard gaining on him a little bit. I think Steve knows he's won. Yes, he's crossed the line first. Congratulations, Steve. What a wonderful race, full of incident.
Congratulations. Well done. Talk us through the race.
Well, I took my time. I didn't want to be put under pressure by Paul here, so I took my time. I could see he's pulling away. I thought, well, I'll save second, I'll qualify. And unfortunately, part of the problem then, he came off and passed him, and brilliant.
Fantastic. Well done. Paul, you were winning, and then what happened?
Well, the track went dead, and then it stayed there for a while. And while I was holding the button, it came back on. So it shot down past me. I didn't realise it was my car. So lack of concentration there, I suppose, would come back on. But
you were safely through anyway.
Yeah.
Came third.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I was just coming up to lap these two, actually. Disappointed with that.
You were trying to rub their noses in it.
Yeah, I was,
right.
So.
Richard, come and have a word. What a fantastic performance.
Thank you.
I mean, you played it cool and came through. Talk us through your side of the race.
Basically, I just tried to keep it on and let the others make the mistakes, and tactics played through, so
Yes.
thanks.
Well done, Richard.
Thanks a lot.
Well, a thrilling end to the race there. A lot of problems on the track. Killer Mountain living up to its name there. But 3 worthy winners. See them in the semi-final.
So don't forget the website then. You can be a winner if you log on to homeandleisure.co.uk/circuits. Interlagos is the destination for the next race. It's just in a couple of minutes.